No, I don't think there is anymore. I think I have one, I think, is what it says in the module guide. But could you just check, has anyone got a module guide?
Yeah.
There's kind of like minimum requirements.
On the back, yeah. Talking about the actual individual, the assessment criteria, or the...
Yeah, can I just borrow that for a second?
Yeah, so it's something to think about when we're either going to do a computer learning tool or a DVD. So I guess it all depends on the research we find. Whether we find that people have responded better to DVD or video assisted or an actual software. So like there was a software that went on Dragon's Den called it's an internal software, like and I went onto it and added all my stuff, and it's really clever. It created a graph. Whoever looks at your work and you put your profile on it, that's the software in itself. I'll get the name of it so you guys can have a look at it. I think that's a really cool idea, and that is more of a viable product than maybe just a generic video that we create ourselves, because we can give the idea rather than the actual software things. Yeah. But that's something to think about. So either the DVD and video or the computer-assisted learning tool. So I guess that helps with the research. But I'll put some things up for the other guys, and I reckon you guys should do that as well. Is that cool? Are you happy to do that? So, yeah.
Page 22 just says that as it must include at least one example of personal journal.
Page 22.
It's worth keeping an eye on that list as you proceed to make sure that you've got everything you need.
Yeah. And that was the individual, wasn't it? Yeah. Great. Basically, we can't really see individual and group as two separate because everything that we do in our group is going to affect our individual. So it's like an ongoing process.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, let's call it a day then, and we'll see you guys on Friday. Yeah.
But before you disappear, I want to just give you, this is what I was delayed coming to see you today because being a module leader, one of the consequences of that is that I'm fielding everybody's question. But that will get much better as the weeks progress, and I'll be with you more frequently. So you should expect me to be here about 11:30 or somewhere. Okay, I was listening to your conversation, and this is sort of like a little bit of feedback about your conversation. If you were to analyse your conversation over the time that I was here, there was quite a range of behavioural categories were being used, all right, which in terms of generating a good group culture dynamic is something that's good news for me. There was kind of questions being asked. What do we need to do this? That was there. So it was very open. It was a kind of open question which allowed people to contribute. There was a bit of building information as well. Some of you said, "Oh, we can find out about this." And then other questions like, "What do we need to bring?" So these were all phrases which were very open and very inviting of people's comments, and I think you should recognise that. They seem very simple and little things, but in other groups, in other working situations, that doesn't necessarily happen. So for you as a group, I think it sort of bodes quite well that you're asking questions, just thinking what needs to be done. No one's being very kind of, "Oh, we've got to do this, we've got to do this," and shutting things down. But there is a bit of pace being added to the meeting as well, because I think you're kind of encouraging people to think about, well, where do we need to, what do we need to bring, and all this kind of stuff, and supplying answers to that, and one of your comments as well, which I didn't. I think it was, can we find out about these issues? It might have been, what do we need to bring, I think, but I haven't got familiar with your notes. But the point was that you were adding to the mix, and you were trying to clarify what was taking place, which is really good. So what I'd like you to do is, when you see the video of yourselves, just recognise that these are some things that, just in a very cursory way, I was quickly spotting, and you will be able to see exactly who was saying what and what the effect of that was. Because these early meetings are, to some extent, some of the most important, because they set the agenda for how you're going to run the rest of your sessions, and may also indicate where the gaps are in terms of developing the idea. I mean, one of the things I would say to you is, how are you I know you're recording at the moment, but I mean, how are you collating the decisions that you're reaching? How are you keeping a record of that kind of information? That would be something that I would just ask you to consider.
Great.
All right. Okay. That's all for that.